couple of years ago, I was at the first White House Buddhist leadership gathering. 100 and some of us were there. Tara was also there. And I had the opportunity to give a kind of summary talk there and talked about the ancient teachings of wise society, that a society that meets with respect and honors the dignity of each person and speaks with and listens with respect to one another, a society that cares for the vulnerable, the children, the elders, those who are sick, a society that cares for the natural world, that such a society will prosper and not decline. These are teachings that we could find in any great spiritual tradition. But the next thing, which was really important to say, is that there are ways to train the heart and mind to do so. It's not that it's just that it's a beautiful ideal, but modern neuroscience with 5,000 studies and papers and different kind of lab experiments and so forth has shown that the trainings that we will be doing together in mindfulness and loving awareness and compassion, loving kindness, bring resilience, steadiness, empathy, physical well-being, emotional regulation, all those kind of things. We'll talk about that. And that even a little bit of it is powerful medicine. So that one physician who went through an 8-week training at Stanford in the kinds that we'll be doing, he went in, he was almost 50 years old and quite burned out from the pressures of the medical system and seeing patients one after another and, short bits and just tired of the whole thing and really not wanting to be there, not so present. And he did 8 weeks of mindfulness and compassion training. An old patient of his, an older woman, came in to see him. She'd been seeing him for many years. She said, "Something's changed about you, doctor. You seem different now. What is it? Are you in love or something?" Not many hours and not many weeks, but the power of paying attention and renewal that can come with that is really compelling. If it were not possible to find liberation, said the Buddha in his teaching, I would not teach you to do so. But just because it is possible for you to find a liberated heart, I offer the teachings for the benefit and the weal and the well-being and the awakening of all. We wrap ourselves in the traditions of every wise culture that welcome every being, whatever your race, whatever your sexual orientation, whatever your ability, whatever your background, whatever caste, creed, whatever kind of person that you are, the Dharma gates, the gates of truth, welcome you. And you are now invited in to feast on the blessings and the benefits that have been carried in every wise culture from generation to generation, and now they surround and hold you as well. Now, one of the beautiful things to keep in mind is that teaching is a practice in itself. As you teach, you remind yourself, and as you have to articulate what you know to others and go through this training, it will deepen your own personal understanding of compassion and wisdom. And when I teach, sometimes I have to listen to myself. It's not always easy, And I listen, I go, oh, that would be a good idea. Or worse, I better actually do that stuff because I've been talking about that. So it will have its way with you, with all of you who are training, and it will transform you. It's also really trustworthy. And when I was in the Miami airport a few years ago, traveling to a retreat, a man came up to me and said, "Is that you, Jack?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Remember me? I sat a long retreat with you in Insight Meditation Society in Barrie back in the late 70s. And I kind of, okay, I think so." And he said, I might have been a bit of a failure. He said, and I have this wonderful poem here that I'll only read a couple of lines from. It's called, "I Fail as a Dharma Teacher." So it's not just the student. He said, but I practiced for a while and it changed my life, but then I got involved in starting a business and a family and this and that, and it all fell away, and I would have considered myself not really very successful. But last year, I had a heart attack, a serious one. And as I was being prepped for surgery and didn't know if I would survive and all this, he said, it all came back. This is what I needed. Everything else dropped away. I came back to attention, my body and my breath, to bring a balance and loving awareness and compassion. He said it was all in there. It's really trustworthy, because that part, the one who knows, begins to awaken in you and begins to be touched and awaken in someone else when they just hear of the possibility. And after that, it's too late for them. You know, even if they go back to sleep, some little seed has started. And you then go out and carry the lamp of awakening, which says, yes, there's suffering in life, but also there's a way to transform it. There's an end to suffering.